Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we are merely role-players, where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt Boothman, and I'm your compere for this main house production. Here on Merely Role-Players, we improvise stories, and we use the rules of role-playing games to keep those stories oh so high drama. This episode is part of our current main house production, Vigil, Shadowfall. To create this story, we're playing Monster of the Week, a role-playing game by Michael Sands, published by Evil Hat. So, please take your seats in the main house. Tonight's production is about to begin. Vigil, a Merely Role-Players main house production. Shadowfall, Act 4 of 5.
I'm Marta, and I play Harper, the Searcher. Harper came to England from the United States to escape the shadow world that keeps trying to pull her in. But, in spite of her best efforts, weird things just won't leave her alone here either.
I'm Helen Stratton, and I play Melody, the Constructed. She owns Sheridan's cafe cum record shop and knows how to handle a tough customer. She's got a heart of gold, which just so happens to be secondhand.
I'm Strat, and I play Briar, the Monstrous. Briar is a shape-shifting Fey Guardian of the Rosebriar Forest. They take their job very seriously, but can get a little distracted if there's mischief to be made.
I'm Nat, and I play Gwynned, the Divine. Gwyn was once a Shieldmaiden of the triple goddess, the Morrigan. After interfering with one of her schemes by rescuing a mortal man, the Morrigan banished Gwyn to live life as a duck in what became Sheridan's duck pond. Now released from her curse thousands of years later, Gwyn is trying to forge a new life that's finding it difficult to stay under the radar.
Former Mayor Jackie Danbrook calls to the Morrigan for aid. She has lost her shadow.
We need to go to the Shadow Realm.
There is a figure at the centre of this huge brawl that is glowing. This is my city.
Sure.
Harper, this is your shadow.
Oh, this is me. Oh, so the big bad.
Do we clock that it is in the shape of Harper?
Yeah, I think you can. I think Harper's silhouette has become sort of distinctive enough in this place. She has big main character energy here, so the silhouette of her shadow is clearly a match for that.
Yeah.
So it looks like me now, not when I was a kid, which is when it detached itself from me. Okay. Can I just really quickly ask Sombra, hey, is Lindbergh, aka Merlin, aka whatever, is he around? Can you see him? Is he here?
I don't see him, old sport, but I'd guess he'd be in City Hall.
Which is
that
literally the
that
building right there.
that all of the bad guys seem to be trying to get into.
You can all hear Sombra here, so we now know that Merlin is in there.
Gwyn will just step forwards. Gwyn will just step forwards and approach this brawl. Not too closely, but just like a couple of steps forward and just...
From behind all of you, like more shadows are streaming to join this brawl from every street, like every cross street. And so there's another group of like scared-looking Sheridan shadows running past you being egged on by shadows with Tommy guns.
She's just going to shout, and again, we're going to get like the sort of the booming voice come with it. Enough!
The raven emblem blazes and appears high up on some of the skyscrapers. A glowing red raven symbol is projected up on the clouds.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
before we were talking, has Gwyn seen film noir?
Yeah.
She's definitely been shown Daredevil and comic books, so this is, and Batman, so this has been, recognisable. Have they stopped?
Everything freezes. Everyone sort of stops mid-punch, mid-kick, mid-jump, as the Raven, no visible eyes in the silhouetted cutout of them, but locks vision across the brawl with Gwyn, and the head cocks a little on one side, and you hear that voice again. You're like me. Who are you?
Gwyn will just walk slowly towards it. You've got like the tippy-tappy heels, click, click, and then the cane as well. Like slowly walk, but like bring Harper.
Okay.
And then usher you forwards.
Okay.
Go speak.
We had a difficult breakup, okay?
The Raven's still actually looking at Gwynned.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm standing behind you.
Gwynned, who looks conspicuously like a mob boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you in charge of all these jamokes?
Some of them have been stolen from me and mine, and some of them I have nothing to do with.
You're the boss, huh? If I take care of you, that'll bring justice to my city.
And who are you that wears my name, child?
Your name? I'm the Raven. And the Raven leaps forward with a fist lit up with flame to attack Gwynned.
I'm going to turn into a cloud of ravens and fly away.
I was not far behind you, despite not having been involved in the previous vignette, and I'm just stepping forward with sword.
Yeah. Just be aware, I don't know what happens if you hurt my shadow, but yeah, sure. Just not to kill, please.
In terms of triggering moves, this sounds a bit like a protect somebody from Melody, even though Gwyn can probably take care of herself. This is what Melody's intention is in this moment.
It's appreciated.
Yeah, so let's take a roll plus tough.
Yeah, unfortunately, the protect someone is instinctive, so the logic of it being your shadow has gone out the window. So I've got 6. This is 9.
You can protect them fine, but you're going to take some or all of the harm that they were going to take.
Precisely.
Gwyn scatters, turns into ravens. What does Melody actually do? Are you stepping in and blocking with the sword?
It's a defensive move, that high block.
Has Melody ever used a sword?
Not recently.
No? Ooh. But maybe some sort of muscle memory starts to come back.
I would say you're used to using a hammer.
A sledgehammer.
Right, a sledgehammer. So the two-handed big swing. This is going to be a big sword. So the principles are going to be similar. Your hands are just closer together.
Yeah.
I like muscle memory being quite literal in the case of Melody.
Yeah, well, one of my arms, at least, is from a relative of Renko's, which we discovered because I've got a tattoo of her family emblem on one of my arms. So
that's not weird at all.
I think Renko took it really well.
That's good.
I seem to have taken it really well as well. Okay.
The flaming fist of the Raven collides with the sword. Holy fire against holy fire.
Yeah.
And there is a huge explosion of orange across the whole town square.
Right.
Melody and the Raven are both blasted backwards. The Raven into the City Hall steps, Melody backwards into a nearby shop window. Melody takes 1 harm.
Oh, wonderful.
Weak.
This is a blow Melody can easily weather. The main issue is that you've been sort of blasted away from the action and might take you a moment to run back in. Diane leans up on a lamppost and screams.
Help!
Yeah, very much that vibe.
Gwyn will have been aiming to land as the Raven's on the steps of the building we need to go into anyway. So actually, the Raven has kind of fallen next to me.
Yeah. You won't get to the mayor. I'm going to protect the mayor.
I do not intend to hurt the mayor.
I can't believe a word you're saying.
Why not?
Because you're the bad guy.
According to who? The people you are fighting here are the ones who have stolen the shadows of my friends.
According to who? According to justice.
Harper is gonna motion to Sombra to sort of come along, and she's gonna do something ballsy. I don't know if this is a roll or not, but she's literally just gonna walk through it like it's the Red Sea. And she's just gonna walk into that building and see what happens. Just like stoic silence. Yeah, being like, bish, I'm the chosen one. I hope it works. And she's just gonna like eye these two to be like, please don't let them kill me. And as I motion to Sombra, I might motion to Briar as well. And your folk being like, if you have the chance to sort of scoot through and get in there, you guys go get this Merlin fellow, okay? I hope that was clear with my eyebrow. It's a lot of communication.
You're not sure if the thumbs up Briar is giving you is it's saying yes, okay, or just enjoying having thumbs as a tiny little fairy mammal.
As Harper walks through the square and like all of these shadows are recovering from having been thrown 50 feet by this super raven, most of the Sheridan ones are just sort of recovering their heads. The Shadopolis shadows are starting to swing on Harper and just missing, falling over their own feet. In a lot of cases, Sombra is like tripping them or elbowing them in the face or what have you. And so Harper is able to walk through the square, straight line, slow, unscathed. When you get to the steps, the Raven is holding one fist up to Gwyn and holds another up to you. No one gets in a city hall while I'm still standing.
Why are you protecting them?
Protecting the mayor? Protecting the law? Protecting my city?
Is this really what's going on inside your head?
No. As I said, I lost them when I was a literal child. Hey, Raven.
That's my name.
I hate my life. Lindbergh, is that his name? He called. For me. Step aside. Kindly. Or I will have my actual shadow beat the living lights out of you.
You see a sort of shift in whatever your shadow has become here. The forces conflicting inside this being and also the place that you occupy in this realm. And there's no words necessarily, but you see them immediately shift from an antagonistic stance to a like Batman Commissioner Gordon
sure
sort of relationship. If I don't make it, you're the last line of defense. Protect the mayor. Protect the law. Protect my city.
Why don't you go in with her and have a conversation with the mayor?
All these bad guys are trying to get in. I gotta hold them off. I gotta hold you off.
Maybe they're just here because you're the one causing a ruckus.
Don't play mind games with me. She swings at Gwyn.
Can I just bounce to Melody?
Harper wants to... You know how Sombra attaches and detaches themselves from Harper? I want to try and puppet the shadow, my shadow, somehow. I don't know if I can like grab them, but sort of try and stop them from fully punching you and exerting some kind of physical control over them, being like, you're mine.
I like where your head's at, old sport. I like your thinking, but we might need to soften her up a little bit first.
Okay. Is that gonna hurt me or you?
Only one way to find out, I suppose. Me, probably not.
That's great, old sport. I am so sorry.
You should embrace this.
This wasn't me. I didn't do this. I can promise you that.
Harper disappears into City Hall.
Hello.
This all seems to be very much a sort of like god-level shadow person kind of thing, and I was wondering if you'd like to open a nightclub with me and we could try and save some of the people from Sheridan. But also, we could have a nightclub.
Open a nightclub?
Yeah.
Establish a business?
Well, sort of. Look, Aurora's already the sign, and we'll step to the side, and there's... Aurora's turned themselves into like one of those...
A neon sign.
That is an arrow pointing at an entrance, and it says Sheridan Speakeasy.
Yeah. And Diane says, we could use some of my daddy's money.
I thought we could invite...
I'll pawn my pearls.
I thought we could invite them in and keep them safe. Moss is our bouncer.
Right. And then what?
I don't know. They drink... What was it they have? in speakeasies, they all drink gin, don't they? Bathtub gin.
Moonshine.
Moonshine. Diane, you'd like some moonshine, wouldn't you?
Oh, it's very sinful to drink moonshine.
I thought you ran off moonshine.
Oh, I suppose I do. I'm so confused in this place.
What do you say? Shall we round them up?
I think you and your gang should do that. And Diane, yeah.
Okay. What do you want to do if we find you?
Find my shadow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she could go with you.
Oh, okay. You don't want her back?
Well, but I can come and get her.
Okay. We'll make her maybe one... we can put her on the stage. There's always a stage, isn't there, with someone singing.
She can play the tuba there.
Excellent.
You find her a tuba and she'll play.
I'm sure we can manage it.
Great.
Moss, get the door. Ginger, you're on the bar. Aurora, keep doing that. Excellent work. Diane, come with me and let's get some Sheridan people. And we'll start to try and round up Sheridan people.
The Raven is swinging with holy fists at Gwyn. Melody is running into the brawl from across the square.
Melody will try a scream because she doesn't know if it's going to work or not.
With the intent to harm the Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This time,
so we're
I
kicking
think.
some ass. Roll plus tough.
9 again. I'm stuck with that, aren't I? There's nothing I can do to improve that myself.
You can spend luck to make it a full success if you want to.
Yep.
Your animating force is going to develop some sort of glitch.
Yep.
Makes sense, actually, in a different realm.
Mm-hmm.
Is the music even carried by sound waves here, or is it like sound effects and thought
Can we
bubbles?
see this like Batman style,
Yeah.
like kapow?
Yeah, speech bubbles.
Yeah,
Yes.
musical notes swirling across the sky.
Yeah.
We'll deal with the consequences of that momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
Melody runs up to the steps, lets out this shriek. At the same time, the Raven looked like they were going to swing at Gwyn, but in fact pounds that fist into the ground and creates a shockwave that spreads out. Holy fire spreads out across the ground, across the steps, across the paving, in the shape of the Raven emblem.
Wow, that's cool.
Melody, you're running towards this shrieking, and you see there's almost this kind of curtain of holy flame around the edges of this emblem that you're now running into and through.
Mm-hmm.
Your shriek is going to do its harm, and this Raven area emblem is going to do its harm. But what extra option would you like from that kick some ass list for your full success?
+1 forward.
To yourself or somebody else?
I think I'm going to keep that myself.
Great. Mm-hmm. Just represents the momentum that you're charging through with swinging this flaming sword and screaming. Full, like, berserker melody.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I feel like Gwyn recognises this.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's something historic in it.
How much harm did Melody take? Or he's going to?
Melody is going to take 2 harm from going through this curtain.
Before you cross it off, I was going to say, can my action be to actually protect Melody?
Yes, 100%.
From the shockwave? So you come in with your screech, but I think what Gwyn is going to do is as soon as she sees the Raven go to do a ground patch, she's sort of clocked that Briar is going to be helping the Sheridan townsfolk get out. So actually what we need is a distraction for both the Raven and the goons. Mm-hmm. So we need a big bad for them to be focused on. So she's going to spin around, grab Melody, and I'm going to fly up to try and pull Melody out of the way of that shockwave to try and mitigate some of that damage as my protect someone to start with. But then we'll ideally put you down somewhere that's helpful for you. But use the shapeshifter sort of abilities that I now have as Morrigan to sort of the wings spread wider, we get more dark smoke sort of curling, the quarterstaff comes out spinning and flaming, just kind of in the sky. Fine, if you want a villain you shall have to fight. But I'm not going to actually attack. I'm just going to be there threatening.
A target.
But yeah, something big for them to go at.
Fantastic. Well, roll that protect somebody to see if we can knock this harm down off Melody.
7 total, so okay. I'll take the harm.
2 harm to Gwynned. It doesn't ignore armour.
Okay, great. So it's only 1.
So the fire is actually firing. It's hot and it burns.
It is Morrigan's holy
because it's Morrigan's
flame.
holy fire.
Yeah.
Does it do anything to the light and the shadows and the look of the place?
There's definitely that more of that kind of orange, fiery hearth warmth in it. And the more the Raven is using these powers, the more it is leaking out into the rest of the city.
Okay.
Melody, where would you like to get dropped off? Do you want to be like Death from Above, dropped straight on the Raven, or somewhere else?
You can still be super nearby. It's just making sure that I take the wings kind of flap in the way and take the...
Yeah, so I think near the Raven is a good idea.
Swooping with the sword is like...
I mean, if I can be precise, potentially on the steps, so then the Raven is like...
So you have the high ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
Briar, you and your crew can see that actually the Raven has kind of done you a bit of a favour here. Like, this emblem is still blazing on the ground, and you see a lot of shadows, like, running at it to, like, they are kind of, like, with Melody and Gwynned now. Like, they're attacking the Raven, but they're running up to this sort of holy flaming barrier and being repelled and turned away by it. So the risk of the Raven, like, wiping out a bunch of Sheridan shadows is much reduced by this. She is like, you're my opponents now.
You're in a cage.
Yes. No distractions. This is my fight. And so it's actually a little easier for you to round up all of the rest of the shadows because they're not... The kind of bad guys are still trying to kind of egg them on and use them as cannon fodder, but it's much more difficult for them to actually do that. Big distractions.
I'm going to make sure the signage is very obvious. I'm going to make sure there's lots of lovely music blaring out, of swing music.
Yep, Aurora and Moss helping with that, respectively.
Absolutely, yep. And then I think I'm just going to go around and go, oh, Judith, come over here. Over here, come on. Don't have to fight it anymore. Melody's shadow, over this way. Look, go down there. It's like Sheridan, but here. It'll be very homely. The drinks are reasonably priced.
So there are no verbal responses from any of these shadows. They don't seem to be able to speak. But roll act under pressure.
Oh, shit.
To try and get yourself an audience for your nightclub in the middle of a superhero battle.
It's my worst.
I believe in you.
6.
It's good.
7, 8, 9, but -1, but still an 8.
Okay.
Not too bad.
You can do it, but you get a worse outcome, a price to pay, or a hard choice.
Okay.
You're not able to get everyone, or because the gangster goon shadows are still trying to get the ones you're rounding up to do their bidding, they're going to be fighting you as you do this, and you and potentially the crew will, because you're not concentrating on fighting, you're concentrating on recruiting for your nightclub, you're going to end up taking some harm from that.
Oh yeah, I'll take some harm.
You catch some bullets. A guy swings at you with a shadow chain and like slams down onto you as you're persuading. There's a sort of a cartoon response to it. If you're still an animal.
Just a raccoon.
Yeah. Yes, I am just a raccoon.
This is like a fedora wearing noir goon bonking a raccoon with a knuckle duster.
Oh,
and so
please steal his hat.
If I can.
We are veering into Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, so it's a little comical. It is a little Roger Rabbit-y. You know, it's very amusing to anybody watching, and you see some of the newcomer, the Sheridan shadows, laughing at what's going on. They don't know what's happening. This is just a funny situation. They don't know what's real. But you do still take 2 harm from this.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh.
Just if you could all get in, please. Ow! No, it's not that funny. He's got a chain. I'm a raccoon.
Animal cruelty.
Don't know why I bother. Oh no, I do. Nightclub time. You're going to pay extra for drinks.
Yes, because you picked that option, you are able to round up Melody's shadow, Judith's shadow, Charlton Abbott's shadow,
Jackie's
shadow.
Lovely.
All these recognisable shadows, a few that you maybe don't recognise, but that are clearly out of place here, and round them up into this underground nightclub area. Into this speakeasy. Is it definitely illegitimate?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like a neon sign.
Yeah, but I kind of needed to be for plans.
There is a big opportunity, obviously, for mischief
yes.
as you're doing this. So are you going to take that, or are you going to try and be the hero in this moment?
Oh no, this is fun mischief time. It's less being a hero. It's more I want to run a nightclub for a bit.
Get that off the bucket list.
But with a purpose, because I think I'm beginning to understand how this place works, and it feels weirdly fey in that there seem to be rules and that it's trying to mould you into a certain way of being, and so I need to make myself a place where certain things can happen to help out with what's going on outside.
We're at such good consequences already from letting Fey or divine English magic leak into this realm. What could possibly go wrong here?
No. Sounds like a great plan.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So currently Briar is in the office that has the nice big window that looks out over the speakeasy with Diane performing on stage. And Ginger.
Starting to disinfect.
Setting up your own mob, are you?
Yeah.
It's not just a heist gang anymore. And full organised crime.
Yeah. On a hunch, I'm going to open up the door, and Moss, being my heavy, will be outside.
And it doesn't make sense that you could create and fit out and that this place would be ready for this, but the place does seem to be responding to your needs and desires here, and almost doing it feels like a flash forward or like a montage as the place comes together. Briar ends up in this position of power.
Moss, I need to see that journalist we've got on our payroll. Bring him to me, will you?
You got it, boss. Harper strolls casually into City Hall. And in a similar way to the nightclub sort of coming together in moments, there are sort of panels of Harper making her way through this building, up some stairs, through some corridors, past closed doors and cowering clerics in their offices, until you stand before the main doors of the mayor's office.
The whole way, there's Sombra doing the detective monologue. I walked in and everything was quiet, but I was sure that my destination was close. That kind of thing, just endless. And Harper's just really fighting hard to just keep her cool, being it's fine.
There's sort of moments where it starts to feel like your own voice and your own inner monologue, and it just feels so natural.
No.
You stand before the doors to what is clearly the grandest office in the place.
I don't know what we're walking into. Just have my back. That would be appreciated. And I know that thing outside is supposed to be my shadow. I don't know what that means for me, for us, for whatever's going on, but once more into the breach.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Hey, we always knew this would go all the way to the top.
Okay, and then she's just going to kick the door open. It's I don't have any quotes, I'm sorry. I can't do that right now.
Kick the door open into this grand, entirely black and white Art Deco office. Black and white potted palms by the windows. High windows, you can see the flares of orange from the fight outside glaring through the windows. And seated behind a grand black desk, black monolith of a desk, seated in a wing-backed chair, is a skeleton in a pinstriped suit.
That I did not expect.
I've been expecting you.
What did you do?
Exactly what I planned to do, my dear. Exactly what I've always been planning. It's not quite finished yet, but it's nearly there. Sit. Pours black and white liquid from a crystal decanter. Maybe it's whiskey, maybe it's vodka. You can't tell because it's all black and white.
She's just going to walk up to the desk, sit down, pointedly ignore the drink, sort of sit back, cross her arms, and do the whole eyebrow thing again of quizzically.
The skeleton has no impression. It is a clean skull. The suit is entirely black except for these incredibly tiny pinstripes. You made it all the way here. What do you want to know?
First of all, what should I call you?
Here, call me Mayor Lindbergh.
Sure. We'll see.
Mr. Mayor has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. So tell me, Merlin, what...
It's hard, isn't it, when you have so many questions?
It really is.
crashing against the inside of that head of yours.
I came here as a child because of you. I want to know why. I want to know what happened to my brother, and if you had anything to do with that. I want to know why my shadow is a fucking loser and is currently fighting my friends in the shittiest, most non-copyright breaking cosplay display of a wannabe, Batman? Batman nerd dream? I don't even know. Just, can you please, in as few words as possible, explain to me what in the literal Shadow Realm hell is going on?
You speak with disdain of it, but there's something pure about it, isn't there?
No.
Good versus evil?
No. My shadow's a loser. I will never get over it.
Well, I suppose as all these questions come together, you have hit on the most important one of all. Why you? Why you? Because I knew you'd reject it. I knew you'd run as far away from it as you possibly could. I had to choose somebody to be the avatar of this place who would not want to stay. Where your brother is, I can't tell you. I had nothing to do with that. We sought out somebody who was looking for something, someone who was looking for answers. You had that. And you had that important personality trait of, let's say, you lack a certain confidence in yourself that would allow you to fully believe that you were chosen for anything.
That's not exactly how I would put it, but sure.
The wisdom of age, dear, the wisdom of age.
Yeah, it definitely shows. So... let me get this right. You needed me to not want whatever it is that I have been burdened with?
Now we come to the question behind the question. The most important one for you personally, why you? Of course, that would be the first question on your mind. Everyone's so individualistic, self-centered. There is a question behind that, which is why at all?
Yes.
All for my plan.
You mentioned this before. Could we expand on that?
It'll be complete soon enough.
Great. Can I hear about it regardless?
I learned something important when I went into the West. I went to have my influence on the new culture, the new civilization that would form across the sea. But of course, I learned from them as well. I learned about a new and important power, a power greater even than that of magic or gramarye, which I had mastered in my youth. The power of business. I became aware of a very lucrative and important business opportunity back in the old country. I needed a bridge. I needed a way back in, a way to facilitate the merger of this realm, which I am the leader of now, and the old realm which I led in my youth. And you are that bridge. Thank you for forming it.
Harper's just shocked beyond belief. I'm like, I am a puppet for the capitalist machine. That's not what I thought this was going to be or where we were going.
A puppet? No. I think of you as a silent partner, much as anything. You'll benefit as much as anybody else
when I complete my purchase of England.
Okay, number one, why the hell would you want to buy England? I mean, have you been there recently? You know what?
Oh, I fully agree. The place has gone to the dogs.
Right.
My new adopted country is far superior. And it's time for England to learn the lessons that I have learned across the sea.
No, I think you learned all the wrong lessons. Yeah, I would like to hand in my resignation, effective immediately. No thanks. I don't want to help you do this.
You've already done it, my dear. The bridge is formed. You became the avatar of Shadowfall.
Oh God, no, that name.
Dark reflection of the American psyche. And you brought that back to England. For me.
Yeah.
So you can quit if you want. But your work here is done. And your friends out there are just about ready to complete the next phase.
Oh God. Okay. It's a lot. And I think she was expecting something quite different to this. There's a lot of like the American guilt of like, oh, of course I did this. And also like, of course some white European dude came over to America and just fucked everything up and learned all the wrong lessons and is just an idiot. Also, kind of frustrated because everything she's been trying to do to try and get away from this apparently has only reinforced the very thing that she wanted to avoid. So she's kind of angry at herself and frustrated that she couldn't see that happening. Oh. And also there's a scotch of like crushing disappointment that there's stuff about her brother is not resolved and that her big role in this, her big destiny is just to be a cog in whatever this machine is. It's like, it's not even, look, it could be cool at the very least. It's not. It's just the lamest, like, yay, capitalism from Merlin. What's happening? So yeah, there's a lot going on and it's kind of paralyzing in a way where she's trying to figure out.
Let's sit in that paralysis for a moment as Harper works out what to do about this. What's happening outside as
God, yes.
Melody with her flaming sword and Gwyn in her dark evil form and the Raven are fighting in the town square and Briar's about to do whatever Briar's going to do.
Yeah.
Gwyn is being reactive rather than proactive because what she is actually trying to do is provide a distraction so Harper can do whatever she needs to do and Briar can do whatever they need to do. So she will continue to sort of fly up and I guess not like super high in the sky, but I want to see if the Raven can fly to me. So I'm far enough away that they cannot reach me from the ground. You think to imitate me, a goddess, with this pathetic garb? You're not even dressed like one. Are you supposed to inspire fear or rage or what is this?
I'm not a goddess. I'm a symbol of justice. The Raven does indeed bamf out flaming raven wings and rocket up to try and meet Gwyn.
It will have dawned on Melody that she doesn't know what the repercussions would be of ending the Raven.
The Raven looks like she could take quite a bit more of a beating before that might become an issue.
Yeah, I suppose it would be a good distraction to the Raven for her to be physically assaulted.
Yeah, we don't assault the Fae, but, shadows.
Shadows is fine.
I think I'm kicking some ass.
Swing a sword. Kick some ass.
Swinging a sword in midair as the Raven grows wings and flies up.
5, 8.
The Raven is going to swing at you with a blazing punch. Are you swinging down with the sword?
Yeah, over the head.
The shadows heading into Briar's nightclub sort of see this just as a blaze of flame in the sky, as once again the sword and the fist collide, and there is that interaction of holy flame against holy flame, almost like sort of similar magnetic poles repelling, and the two of you are both blasted up into the sky by the shockwave.
Melody take 2 harm.
I was going to say, Melody's not supposed to be in the air unsupervised.
The Raven also takes 2 harm.
What Gwyn is going to do in response to that, now that I know that she can fly, seeing Melody is okay, let's take this comic book, and I'm actually going to fly full pelt into the Raven, and we're going to go through a tower block.
Yay!
Oh!
How are you swinging that as protecting someone?
Because I'm going to use my wings to stop them from taking harm from being flown into a tower block.
Sure. What about the shadows in the tower block? Have you thought about that?
It's comic book land. They don't exist.
Yeah, no one gets harmed when the whole fucking building's come
Collateral
down.
damage is not really
It's
consideration.
not a thing.
Roll that move, plus tough.
5, 6, 7, 8.
So where the harm actually comes from, this is like cannoning through walls in this setting. That's fine. That's not going to be the thing that takes anybody out.
Yeah.
You go through 1, 2, 3 skyscrapers and a big neon sign for Briar's like, on top of another nearby building.
No, just put it up.
But the thing that hurts is you are cocooning the Raven within your wings, and there is this increase in the heat of the holy fire blazing on the Raven's chest and in the Raven's hands and in the Raven's wings. It is your fire, it is Morrigan's holy righteous fury that has been bled into this world. You blaze, they blaze, and the whole thing is just getting hotter and hotter and hotter. The two of you burning each other.
That's my fire. That will sort of come through the final building and sort of shriek and drop them.
Did we leave Melody in midair? As you had that shockwave bursting apart from the Raven, do you want to have been thrown into the ground for 2 harm, or like thrown high and landed on a rooftop for 2 harm?
I would like to be on the ground.
Okay.
Because things are happening in weird time, weird speeds, Boss has got the journalist. Basically, Briar closed the door and there's a knock. And Boss is like, got it, boss. I open the door.
There's a shadow with a fedora with a press pass in it.
Yeah, exactly. And a notebook in hand.
The notebook is white, in front of the black silhouette of the shadow.
Schmarker, take a seat. Whiskey?
Not if I'm going to be on the job.
We've known each other a long time, Schmarker. We came up in this town together. You always happen to know where my business rivals may happen to be dealing some of their product to get a photo, and I always happen to know which of the police officers around here may be willing to receive a envelope with a nice bundle of whatever you call, what are they calling this around? A nice bundle of bills in it. Dough. Cash money. Briar's still working out.
Dollars?
What I'm saying is, I've always scratched your back. You've always scratched mine.
You know that there's lines I won't cross, though, you know.
I know, but I got a particularly big itch.
I'll serve the truth as much as above all.
And I don't want you to do anything more than that, Schmarker. You know this town. You may know it better than I do. And you know that nobody gets anywhere in this town if they're not at least a bit dirty. And they don't get to the top of this town unless they're dripping with dirt. And I know you've got it. I know you squirrel away. I've seen that lens of yours poking out a building.
You can't, But he's too powerful. I can't use what I got on him.
He's the power in this city, but I think if we change a few minds with that good old printing press of yours, we may find that there's a new power rising in these streets.
Well, I suppose I do owe you.
Yes, you do. So, you get those pictures. You know the ones. The mayor and his illicit activities. You get them printed pronto. Get them in the press. Get them in the pages. Get them on the streets. Make sure everyone in this town knows what kind of man our mayor is. And, who knows? Maybe one day I'll be leaving this town and someone else will need to take over this nightclub.
Give us a roll plus... It would be charm, but this is Briar, so plus weird.
Yay.
Yes.
Well, I rolled a 3. I get +3, that's still a fail, so we're using some luck here, my friends.
That's got to be
I'm not doing all that and then fucking it. So that's another luck, which means it's a 12.
Yep, they'll do it for the reason that you gave.
And it's an advantage now.
Hey,
this
wow.
is one of my advanced moves. So manipulate someone on a person. Not only do they do what you want right now, they also become your ally for the rest of the mystery, or, if you do enough for them, permanently.
Let's say permanently. Why the hell not?
I think they're about to inherit my nightclub, so...
Match marker.
Yeah.
Well done. Moving up in the world.
Outside, where this brawl is still happening, the shadows who are part of this melee are much more thinned out now. It's only the mooks, the goons, the standard shadows that are trying to get involved. Gwynned and the Raven and Melody all sort of exchanging blows. Gwynned kind of dodging out of the way, not actually striking any, but monologuing.
Call.
Yeah. As a newspaper blows through the square and the front page says, Mayor Lindbergh in unspecified scandal. And it blows across the square between goons, between swinging chains and knuckle dusters, and onto the Raven's face.
I was just stuck on his face, yes.
Exactly, yes, good.
Looks like power's changing round here. Maybe you're not on the side you thought you were on.
Wait, the mayor? Part of an unspecified scandal? Dripping with dirt? But I serve justice. You mean all these goons were working for him the whole time?
Did you not notice the ones that were being forced to fight you against their own will? Perhaps justice would have been aiding those held hostage.
I guess justice was a little blind.
Isn't it always the way?
See, as you're having this conversation, the fire is starting to die down in the Raven's fists and chest and wings. Starting to get more like a banked ember than a blazing fire, as the Raven questions themselves and what they've been fighting for.
I think you need to have a word with our friend, the one that went in to speak to the mayor.
If the mayor is dirty, then there's only one place justice should be.
Well, we can meet you up there. Melody? Just pick Melody up and let's go fly up.
I'm just knocking on the window. Knock, knock.
All right, lovies. It's me, Matt, your compere. I hope you enjoyed Act 4 of Vigil, Shadowfall. There will now be an interval of 2 weeks, after which we'll be back with Act 5, the finale of this production. Just before you head off for interval ice creams, or possibly to climb into the interval ice cream freezer to escape this heat we're having, let's take a quick look at the programme. I was recently a guest on A Game of One's Own, Maddie Searle's actual play podcast focusing on solo and duet role-playing games. The two of us played Coiled Space by EtherCorp Games, provocatively describes itself as a solo journaling game for 1 to 4 players. Coiled Space is a game about travelling a collapsing universe in search of the last few scraps of energy to fuel your ship, and also you work for the company who's responsible for the universe collapsing, and jumping around the universe in your ship is only making it worse. It's a bit like if a story of the terrible corporations like Weyland-Yutani in Alien was told with the tone of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm really grateful to Maddie for having me on. I think we told a really fun story together. It's got some twists and turns I don't think you'll see coming that all came out of the random generation of the game. There's a link in the show notes to go and check that episode out. Nothing else worth looking at in the programme this week. So stay tuned now for the credits, and I'll see you in 2 weeks for the finale. This has been Vigil, a main house production from Merely Roleplayers. It stars Marta da Silva as Harper, Natalie Winter as Gwynned, Helen Stratton as Melody, and Strat as Briar. I'm Matt Boothman, and I play the supporting cast. Editing and sound designer by me, and the theme music is by Alexander Pankhurst. We were playing Monster of the Week, a role-playing game by Michael Sands, published by Evil Hat Productions. You can find Monster of the Week at genericgames.co.nz. Merely Roleplayers is a Foggy Outline production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Until next time, if drama be the food of life, play on.
Business. It is the American way.
Oh God. Okay.
Foggy Outline. Undivide your world.